The beautiful woman is lying on the bed, waiting for the arrival of the next guest. But it was a dirty farmer who came in. Jack was very reserved. This is the first time I've come to such a place. Mary told him to be quick. Time is money. But Jack said he can't do anything. I came here to marry her. Mary opened the door and let him go. But after a while, Jack came to his room again. This time he jumped in the queue at a double price. Mary made fun of him for wasting his time and money on chatting. Jack asked her, "Do you want to stay here all your life?" Said Mary, "It's none of your business." Soon it was time again. Jack was turned out again. When Jack came for the third time, he came to say goodbye to Mary. Because these 3 meetings, he had spent all his savings. He wanted to use his last meeting to propose to Mary. But Mary mocked him as a poor loser. "What qualifications do you have?" After hearing this sentence, Jack was very disappointed, deeply shocked. She had no choice but to leave. Looking at the figure of Jack leaving, Mary's eyes showed helplessness. Why doesn't she want to live here? Mary's life was very tragic. When they were young, their father drove their mother and daughter out of the house. When mom goes to work, he can only sit at the door and wait. At this time, she did not know how hard her mother was. "It wasn't long before my mother died. Her father sold her to a boss. I thought I could live a good life from now on. Unexpectedly, it was the beginning of the nightmare. Time flies by. Mary has grown into a slim girl. Just when he was 17, he met the father, who had abandoned his wife and daughter. My father obviously didn't recognize him. Mary took her into the room. The father, who later learned the truth, was ashamed. He shot himself. A few years later, Mary became a famous local celebrity. All men are willing to give up all their property to meet him. But none of these men are sincere, just to sleep with him. Until Jack appeared, she was moved by what Jack did. So he asked his boss to leave. Unexpectedly, he was severely beaten by the boss's subordinates. Just when she was heartbroken, Jack appears again. The man took out all his savings. He wanted to buy the girl who had failed. But even if you are seriously injured, Mary didn't want to spend the rest of her life with Jack, because she felt that man would only bring him harm. There are no good men in the world, but Jack doesn't think so. He also gave him his mother's ring. After Mary recovered, she just slipped away, but Jack's howling dog followed him all the time. When Jack got home, seeing the ring on the table, so I rode on my horse and looked for him crazily. I found him in a lane last class, but Mary was very angry. But she misunderstood. Jack gave him food and water, and told him to wear more clothes when it was cold. Then say, "If you keep going, they will continue to put you in that dirty place. But if you want to go home with me, I will protect you forever." Then he got on his horse and left. It was the softest threat she had ever heard. But Mary, who is used to having fun and drinking, how can you live with this poor guy? But at night, Mary came back with a disheartened face. Jack didn't speak when he saw her back. I just silently prepared dinner for her. Then he washed his feet and massaged them. It moved her a little. To repay Jack, he wants to serve Jack with his housekeeping skills. But as an honest man, Jack refused directly. In the following days, Jack took him to do farm work. But Mary, who had never done such a job before, seemed to be very clumsy. That night, Mary wanted to invite him to bed, but Jack refused again. In order to reduce the fire, Jack took a cold bath in the lake himself. Mary looked at the silly man in front of her and began to move. The second day, Jack took him to watch the sunrise. At this moment, Mary decided to live with him. But the good times are not long. Jack's brother is back. He helped Mary before, so he recognized Mary at a glance. He felt that Mary was not worthy of his brother. Mary, who has a strong sense of self-esteem, can't stand being said so. So he left the ring again and left. He came to the town, penniless. He was very down and out. Then one of Mary's former guests recognized him. He hoped that Mary could resume her old business, as long as Mary promised to get the money right away. He has nowhere to go. I can only agree to his request. When Jack learned about the situation, I found Mary at once. This wretched man was brought down at once. Then he took Mary back to the farm again. On the way, Jack didn't scold him or beat him. This made Mary feel more guilty. In the evening, Jack hid himself in the stable and wept. And this scene was just seen by Mary. He knew he had hurt the honest man. He was deeply regretted. At this moment, he decided not to let Jack down again. So she wiped herself crazily with stones in the river. When Jack saw it, that's it. Jack forgave him. They are living together again. That day, they met a woman in labor on the road. Jack and his wife took them home. Under their careful care, they gave birth to a child. To thank them, so he decided to name the child after Jack. This made Jack, who had always liked children, very happy. But Mary was not happy at all, because I was unable to conceive due to various reasons when I was young. They are both destined to have no children. That day, Mary decided to tell Jack that she couldn't have children. The man just learned that he bought his wife with all the money. I can't bear children, but he doesn't care. Mary felt very guilty. He still can't forgive his past, so I chose to leave the ring my husband gave her and leave again. Knowing that Mary had left, Jack is depressed all day. But she did not look for Mary this time, because he thinks a woman determined to leave, no matter how hard you try, you can't get it back. And after Mary left, I did not return to my old business. Instead, He worked as a waiter in a restaurant. Just when Mary thought she could live like a normal person, he met his former boss. The boss didn't want to let her go. They took Mary back to the dirty place. Mary saw a 7-year-old girl lying on the bed. She thought of her miserable past, so she made up her mind. I will punish this guy severely. At a dance, Mary addressed the audience. He told his own story. This exposed the boss's unknown ugliness. After hearing these words, they think the boss is a beast, so he was punished by the just people. And Mary ran away with 2 little girls. They fled to a school. He worked here as a cook for his 2 children. That day, Jack's brother found Mary. He said that during your absence, Jack was in great pain. He has been waiting for you. Mary can't believe it. A man should be so persistent to himself. She didn't know until now. There are still good men in the world. That day, Jack plowed the fields as usual. When he looked back, seeing Mary standing by the field, under the irradiation of sunlight, Mary was like an angel. Jack looked at Mary affectionately. The two confessed to each other in the sun. Lovers get married. They finally came together. Since then, Mary never left Jack again. Jack didn't fail him either. Gave Mary a home. It wasn't long before Mary became pregnant. My family is very happy. You can think Jack is stupid enough to smoke because she is unreasonable. He's sick, but he really explained what true love is. True love is above all. Even if Mary is a boss trampled by thousands of people, but in his eyes, he is still pure and clean, inviolable. I think this is the greatness of true love.